and this is the second talk. This is our second talk. It's on May 6th. It's the 6th of May, 6th day of May.
Yes.
And we are talking about speed reading, part 2.
Okay, part 2, yes. Well, I would like just to add a few information that I haven't actually discussed last week. Well, regarding the pacer, it's still something about pacing, right? It's interesting just to make it clear why do we sometimes it's important to use our hands or a card or a pencil to pace your reading, and what are actually the benefits of pacing? Well, I would say that first of all, it forces your eyes to focus on a line or section of words. I believe when you use a pacer, such as your hands, that's the most used one, and also your fingers, this naturally encourages concentration. I think this is an important point, right? Because we readers tend to sometimes not to become alert in the reading process, and by naturally running your fingers or very smoothly pacing your reading with your hands, you may encourage concentration. Of course, it forces your eyes to move in what I would call a directed pattern across the page, okay, or down the page. It guides your eyes to keep their place and to find the next line accurately. I believe that it also involves more of your body in the reading process, which keeps you alert, right? This is some of the things that I would add in terms of the purposes of using a pacer, right? I would like also to add another author that I haven't mentioned last week. It's called Tony Buzan. He's a British author, right? And he has 2 interesting videos on YouTube that maybe your students would be interested in listening to it. Because this guy, Tony, he has a video called Use of a Guide, right? And also another one, reading strategy. The reading strategy is actually an interview, and he shows, very clearly how one should.
Many people, I like to spend my spare time reading a book, which is okay if it's a slim novel like this, but if it were War and Peace, it would take me months. Tony, you've put a lot of thought into this. How can I read more quickly?
Well, first of all, you've got to go way back to the way you were taught as a child and the way children are taught.
Does that sound familiar?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly the one I'm talking about.
Excellent.
Right?
So my students can watch this video. They just type in Reading Strategies, Tony Buzan.
Buzan, exactly. He's a British guy, right? But I think he's perhaps one of the most renowned names, surely the most renowned name in the world in mind mapping. I don't know if you ever heard about it. How do you actually create, how do you organize everything you learn, you read with mind mapping? That's another concept. I wouldn't like to get into that right now. But he's also very well known for in the field of speed reading, right? And he's a great advocate of using a pacer, right? And especially your pen. It can be your pen. And by the very end of this video, he shows people how to do it, right?
Oh, so if I jump to the end of the video, we can actually see him doing something.
Yes. Just go ahead.
All right.
If you wish.
Well, he's looking down a little bit. Oh, there he is. Yes, he's got a pen. I see what you're talking about. Right.
And it's a very interesting point, interesting passage, so to speak.
Now that speed that I'm doing now, if you think about it, it's a line, a line, a line, a line. That's 12 words, 12 words, 12 words. It's nearly 720 to 1,000 words a minute.
Wow. Almost 1,000 words a minute. That's much
Yes.
faster than most of us read.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So just by pacing, we can speed up.
Yes, and you don't have to go, back and forth very rapidly. If you do in a smooth pattern, the way Professor Buzan says, it will suffice, right? You will reach an average of 1,000 words a minute. That's impressive, right?
Yes, it will suffice. I think you're right. It will be sufficient
Mm-hmm.
to reach 100, 800, or even 1,000 words per minute.
1,000 words per minute. There you go. Yeah.
That's very nice. Because a typical page can have, let's see, maybe 500 words on a page.
That's right. And speaking of words per minute, this is something that I haven't actually talked about last time. The average reader, especially college students, according to studies, they read an average of 250 to 500 words per minute, right? That's considered reasonably good, a reasonably good speed, right? And if you go a little further than that, I mean, from 300 to from 500, on, you will be considered an excellent. You will be reaching an excellent speed. But I wouldn't encourage people to make all these calculations that some of these speed reader specialists and experts advise in the very beginning of their books, that everyone should calculate how fast they read according to words per minute. I wouldn't do that. Well, anyone could do that by simply trying to find some web page that does that. I think there are some web pages that actually provide some software, some program that can measure your speed if you want to. Just in the very beginning, it could be interesting just for you to have an idea how fast you're going, right?
That's true. You can always take 2 or 3 pages and count how many words are in the page by using Microsoft Word. They have a word count. And then you just measure how many seconds it takes to read those words. So even if you have 100 words and it takes you 20 seconds to read the 100 words, you multiply by 3 and you've got your words per minute.
Yes, that's right.
So that's a good solution. Well, thank you for introducing us to Mr. Buzan. Was there another website or person that you wanted to tell us about?
As far as speed reading is concerned, no. Yes, there are many, but I think this is one of the most reliable, or the most reliable source on YouTube that I'm aware of.
Good. Then I'm stopping it right now.